Hello everyone, welcome back to this video series on understanding Pinnacle 21 issues in SDTM datasets. Note that this video is part of the playlist which is titled as Pinnacle 21 Issues. So if you are watching this video as the starting point, I suggest you to watch the previous videos in this playlist. So as I have covered some details extensively in the previous videos. So in this video, we will see an issue which is called invalid value for LBTESTCD variable. So I have created an example data for this issue based on the example present in SDTM IG 3.3. So here if we see the value in LBTESTCD is ALB, so only A is capital and LB is in small letters. So if we come to this one, so the message is triggered for the rows where the values are ALB and ALB. So if we take a look at the description of this issue, so it says, like, let's click on this one and it takes us to the rule that triggers this message. So it says invalid value for testcd variable. The value for short name of measurement, test or examination, which is underscore hyphen hyphen testcd. So variable should be limited to 8 characters and cannot start with a number and cannot contain characters other than letters in uppercase, numbers or underscore. So here in the example which we have been using or which we have created, there are letters in smaller case, so the lower case. So the message is triggered for that reason. So let us try to replicate this issue. So I have the data placed in a sheet called LB007. I have created a program to import that into a SAS dataset and then further convert into uh, SDTM XPT file, and then I'll use that XPT file to generate the P21 report. So let's run this program. So which creates our XPT file. So my XPT file is now generated. So let us run the P21 report on the latest XPT file, so which has that issue. So let's click on validate to have the P21 report generated. Now there are 14 messages generated. Let us click on the open report and then see what are those issues. So if we go to the detail sheet for the LB, so we have the two messages which we were looking at earlier. So invalid value for LB testcd variable, and the message is triggered for the rows where the value is ALB. And note that there are two additional messages got triggered. The first one is, it says LB testcd value not found in laboratory test code extensible code list. And the second one is LB testcd and LB test values do not have same code in cdiscct. So we know that LB testcd and LB test uh, have to have one-to-one relationship between them, and they should follow code list, appropriate code list when it is applicable. So based on the standard terminology. So we will take a quick look at these two messages by examining the control terminology for albumin. So we will go to the website mycsg.in. So here on the resources tab, so under SDTM version index, so let us filter for LB domain. So let us click on this LB text. So for LB test CD, so we have a code list available. So I'm clicking on that LB test CD code list. So for the code list in the I have organized the code list here in this in a structure that the for wherever the code list exists in pairs like LB test CD and LB test, so they appear side by side. The code is corresponds to the control terminology for LB test CD, and the decode corresponds to the control terminology for LB test variable. So let us try to filter for albumin here in this one. So if we see the value albumin should have a code list or code of ALB and LB test CD variable, but in our case what was the value? So this LB was present in smaller case or smaller letters or lower case letters. So what happened here in the report was, so it said LB test CD and LB test values do not have same code in cdiscct. For albumin LB test, so it is expecting the value of ALB in all caps. So as it did not find that ALB in all caps, so it triggered this message. So in fact, it was uh, because of this inconsistent value or invalid value in LB test CD. So it also triggered two additional messages. So if we in fact fix this, so this message and this message should also get resolved. So here for the other issue that was there is LBTESTCD value not found in laboratory test code extensible code list. So here if we see in the code list column for ALB, it should have been all caps ALB, but we have ALB. So it checked for that even text case and it checked the entire code list for LBTestCD variable and saw whether there is a match for that ALB in prop case, and then triggered a message saying that this was not found in the standard code list for LBTestCD. So let's go ahead and try to fix the issue for this ALB and make it into all caps. So this should resolve these two messages and also the additional two messages which got triggered. So let us go to the file. So here I have done that. So I have made the change to convert this into uppercase. So let's say this was a programming error and we have updated our program to generate the dataset which looks like this. So let us import this file and then see if it actually fixes the issue. So I'm importing the updated sheet which has the correct values. So I have the XPT file generated. So let us remove the previous file and then choose the latest created XPT file for LB and then generate the report again. So earlier there were around 14 messages. Now let us take a look at the messages that got disappeared. So I'm opening the report. So I'm going to the detail sheet. Here if we see there were additional messages which were related to the inconsistent value in LBTestCD are resolved, and the other two messages which were related to the dependent checks. LBTestCD and LBTest values do not have the same code. So these two messages got resolved, and also the other two related or dependent messages also got resolved. Sometimes fixing one value could resolve multiple issues. So this is how you can check and address so invalid value for LBTestCD variable issue in your P21 report. Thank you for watching and keep learning.